So some of you have been following Silent Ice's Let's Play series on the Dark Fury server, or the Dark Fall server, sorry. So I'm one of the ones that's been playing on here with him, helping him with content and stuff. You may have noticed him starting off in someone else's base in an episode. That was my base. Since we're about to change servers and start messing with mods and stuff, before we delete all my hard work, I wanted to document it all, because he didn't really do the place justice. So here we're at the front gate, complete with the billboard warning that this is a no-fly zone. Do a short circuit around the perimeter so you can see I've got some other nifty billboards too. You might see a flaw in this fence design coming up here. There's the survivors, or trespassers will be shot, survivors will be shot again signs. Now, this wall isn't so much designed to keep things out, which is why it doesn't climb all the way up the cliff. If stuff spawns on the cliff and wanders into my base, that's no big deal, because I've got Spinosaurus and T-Rex on aggressive wandering around in here. It's basically more of a corral than fence. And then coming up here from the main area, you'll see I have crossfire set up pillboxes using Plant X and planters, spike walls. Idea being that if you try to attack the foundation for any one of them, there'll be in a range of at least another one blinding you and shooting at you. And then we've got my actual fortified wall meant to keep things out. A little lag on the server. Also part of the reason we're changing. This thing is perfectly square. Yes, that was a real pain. Yes, it had to be rebuilt 2 or 3 times. Basically, we started in the middle and then built all the way out an equal number of tiles and then squared it off for measurement, and then just broke the supports that we didn't need anymore. Now back here we have an archery firing range. It's just a canvas with a bullseye paint pre-painted file that we load onto it. And then on the wall at even intervals we've got Plant X, because it doesn't need electricity and it makes its own ammo. On the corner I have rocket turrets, catapults. In the middle of the wall I have ballista, minigun turrets, and the electrical turrets. They're spaced in such a way you should not be able to attack any one of them without being attacked by 2 or 3 of them. Obviously I'll have to get up here and man the ones on the corners and the ones in the middle. Then on this part of the wall over here, got a little hatch. You might have noticed the dinosaur doors on the front of the base. If you climb down here, if it'll let me, line up with the ladder. This is one of those things I think Ark could do a little better job at. See, it was there for a second, and then it goes away. And if you're in too much of a hurry, that can result in splat. Anyway, once you come down here, if you know someone's coming up the main road with a big dino, you pop these doors, and we have minigun turrets, which can be protected by having the doors closed when you're not in it. Minigun turrets are very effective. We have tested this. They're one of the more powerful turrets in the game, considering you have to manufacture massive quantities of ammo for it. The catapults are kind of worthless if you can't play on some of the higher settings, because you can't see the point of impact unless your graphics card can handle high settings. The ballista has a much straighter arc, so it's much easier to track. Then in the central keep I have another rocket turret with 3 sentry guns protecting it. Really, the rocket turret is probably the most fun turret in here besides the minigun turret. Especially when you have that many rockets in it. Because then you can afford to do silly things like this. Wait for it. They do air detonate after a certain distance. But of course they also detonate on impact. Eventually. Okay, fine, game, make a liar out of me. This game is still in alpha. Early access means early access to bugs. So then, if we come down into the proper base, Central Keep has basically the kitchen on the first floor, along with some smaller animals that I've trained high enough that they should deter you from coming in here and slow you down, if not deter you altogether. Second floor is for crafting. I believe that made it into his video. What didn't make it in is the third floor. This is the barracks. There's a little more work involved here. Got the new bunk beds with the shorter cooldown so we can fast travel to each other's bases in an emergency. We've got color-coded cabinets, which I have started to fill with weapons in the yellow cabinet, ammo and explosives in the red one, and some armor in the blue one. I even started color-coding it because Silent Ice likes the green stuff, and I'm always teasing Kazurayu about being the red shirt, so I made him the red stuff and I like the blue stuff. And then we've got utility cabinets here with clothes, because, you know, this environment might be different than the one you came from, and then, of course, useful things that you tend to realize, oh, I need that, after you lose everything. And then roof access gets you up to another rocket turret, some sentry guns, and a little walkway that'll go out to the wall. There's 2 ways to access the wall without flying. That up there, and then there's a ramp down there. It's actually wide enough for you to take a mount up, so you can get to place real quick with a raptor, or saber-tooth, direwolf, etc. One drawback about this design I didn't think of at the time. I had no way of knowing, because this was my first rocket turret, but this is the maximum elevation, which means there is a huge cone of blindness on top. If someone wanted to attack from the air, there's not much you could do about it with the rocket turret. I don't believe the minigun turret will shoot as high either. I may as well go check that now. So I think air defense in the central keep on my next design will probably just be automated stuff. Yeah, same limitation, I guess. Oh, that's a problem. Wow. So you can fall off of the backside of the turret even though I put a rail there. I might be in trouble. Oh dear. Well, I'm gonna have to just break one of these. Good thing I'm the owner. Do not ever break one of these. The complicated design that allows that to go straight up and be completely even all the way around means when you destroy something connected to it, for some reason strange things happen and sections of the wall you wouldn't think are attached will destroy themselves. That's why we had to rebuild it 4 times. The system also has a redundant electrical system. I don't know if I ever got close to the second generator for you guys to even hear it working. I'll get in there as soon as I can. This would be the point where if Silent Ice was in here, he could say something to tease me about that stupid mistake I just made. but he didn't want to come into this channel today. He's editing some videos he should have uploaded a couple of days ago. Oh yeah, check this out. Just got this today. Key thing on him is carry weight, because you put dung in his inventory and set him on wander, and he turns it into oil and fertilizer. But you have to put it in his inventory, and he starts out not strong enough to carry 2 large ones. Okay, so this is the keep. It has a generator running through the middle underneath it. You have to crouch to get in here and refill it, but it keeps it nice and out of the way. And it made wiring the keep real simple since it's so far away from everything else. This was a pain, however, because we set the electrical grid up after building. We had to mess with the height on this several times to get it to cooperate. But this is what's powering all the sentry guns and the lights attached to the wall. And then of course I've got a fuel reserve bin in here in case I ever get around to, making enough fuel to fill it. And that's it. That's my base. I don't know how I'll be modding it when we switch to the modded server. I'm probably going to stick with the square design on a large plateau for obvious defensive purposes. Got cliff on as many sides as I can get. The wall design might get modified though. I don't know what mods will have that'll affect that. But I'm definitely redesigning the keep. It'll be more squat. I'll have multiple rooms per floor. Mostly so I don't have to go up that stupid ladder every time I need to use the smithy or the fabricator. That ends up being a lot more of a pain than I realized it would be when I first designed it. So, thank you for following me on this tour. Don't forget to check out Silent Ice's channel. I'll be helping him try to bring you some more entertaining content. And so, little mistake I learned and forgot to point out. You can attach ladders to ceilings like this, but you should use the hatches. It makes it much easier to get on the ladder from on top without falling down. Also, I forgot to show off, because this wall is so thick that you can ride along the top of it.
Yeah, did he say anything when he was getting off?
I don't remember. Sorry.
Okay, it's okay.
Anyway, since the
Yeah, I think he's over his head with that thing.
Anyway, since the wall is so wide that you can ride underneath it, I was trying to make it useful like you would with a wall this thick in a fortress like this, and I'm going to build rooms inside it. Like this vault, which is cleverly hidden behind a rock that you can't break anyway. Oh, that's where he went. And, disguised by the wall. Also, it makes it possible to honeycomb it. You could do ceilings and walls all the way up, and this thing would be almost impossible to bring down.